we have started seeing a lot more institutional entering. So we have started seeing more stable coin buying, right? And basically trying to have a bit more stable coin exposure. The other thing is, obviously, we're seeing large Fortune 500 companies buying BTC or stable coins, on their balance sheet. We see almost everyone saying that they're either looking to, build a blockchain or working on a private blockchain solution for their company on how to decentralize their data. So yes, we have Fidelity, we have BlackRock, we have seen a lot of conversations around tokenizing assets.
Yeah, with a lot of these big funds getting created, these like the Michael Saylor fund, the preferred stock, I should say, for Microstrategy, STRK, and then the other one. I did a video on the STRK. I'll leave a link in the description below. But as more companies are buying into the Bitcoin narrative, then, you're thinking that it's more legitimized, as well as the new from Trump, right? The new Bitcoin strategic reserve. Also, I did a video on that. I'll leave a link in the description below. So the U.S. is saying, hey, this is legitimate. Companies are saying, hey, yes, let's buy into this. It could go higher. Who knows? But why hasn't it? I don't know. Let's keep watching.
BlackRock is obviously spearheading that effort. But yes, we are seeing a bit more acceptance that we've seen in the past.
Walk us through some of the regulational changes, because that has been a big criticism in recent years about the lack of regulation. So how have things changed?
So over the years, right, we heard large banks saying that, look, we cannot trade this asset because even though it's for us, it's just a ticker, right? We don't know how SEC or CFTC would treat it as, right? What has happened in past month or so is that SEC has literally, let go most of the enforcement tasks that were going after crypto companies. One, all of the SEC charges have been dropped against Coinbase, Immutable, MoonPay, all of the companies that were open. So that has changed this shift.
So no more SEC lawsuits. The charges have been dropped. Everything's fine. Crypto's great. What's the deal? Why is it not going to the moon? Right? I mean, we've got to understand this.
TC. They've tried to set up, co-working groups just to focusing on digital assets. So even if crypto or blockchain or Bitcoin as a whole doesn't get a special category under digital asset, it'll probably be just treated like another asset under SEC. Just the same investor protection. Just one of the stocks that you could trade on the market.
Is that where you think we're going to go? Because I would think that's where the industry would like to be, right?
That's where the industry would like to be, absolutely. But we would see that's where it is headed. Yes.
Okay, so that's good news, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, is this administration perceived still as pro-crypto, or maybe they just don't care, and that's okay too?
No. Very pro-crypto.
Okay.
Very extremely. We had an industry conference here in New York last week, and not as big as Consensus or, a couple of others. And President Trump had a recorded message.
Yeah.
Yes, had a recorded.
We carried it.
Yeah. So we carry, exactly. So, and then, World Liberty Financial, the organization under him, they're buying tokens consistently. Yeah.
Okay.
It's interesting, too, because if you're just looking at its performance year to date, still lower here, close to about 6%. So, I mean, what's the deal?
It's dead. Yeah. I mean, honestly speaking, as hyped, I'd be very honest about this.
Yeah, so as hyped as it's been, right, it's, the Trump thing, right, the Bitcoin strategic reserve, right, the hyping of Bitcoin, Michael Saylor's, that kind of thing. Other companies jumping in, lawsuits being taken away. Why isn't this thing gaining momentum now? Why isn't it? I mean, to me, if all this positivity is happening in the crypto world, why aren't? I don't understand. Leave a comment below if you understand. But let's ask her.
As hyped, we have, as hyped we have basically done with the industry in past 3 to 4 months, right? Ever since the administration changed, we haven't seen new volumes come in. and we haven't seen new liquidity come in. We haven't seen a lot more large institutional just plug in and say, here's the capital, just go trade.
Why do you think that is?
Because I think at the end of the day, in months or so, everyone rather manage their own book than handing to like crypto native funds or plugging into.
All right, I don't know anything about this, and I take great pride in not knowing anything about this. I come from the day of trading blocks of stocks. Has the story kind of faded here for crypto? It feels like the momentum is maybe out of the story. We don't talk about it as much as we used to. I quote it, but when I quote it, like I'm quoting stocks and bonds, I feel like, should I even be quoting Bitcoin? Does it feel like the momentum's fading?
I think we're not as special as we used to.
Okay.
You're right there, but we're not as special as we used to. We were a hedge against inflation. We were, one of that digital asset that you could buy so your grandkids could be proud of it.
But like for the criticism against that being a hedge against inflation, I mean that clearly didn't.
Clearly, we're not a hedge against inflation, right? Inflation, stocks have been going down, and Bitcoin has been going down as well with the stocks. So what's the deal there? I mean, let's see what they say.
Didn't work in various instances over the last 3 years during the Fed's hiking cycle to try to tame inflation.
It worked in 2020 and it worked in early 2021. Right now, it's just following the macro, and which it shouldn't have. If it had followed its initial narrative, it was, we're an asset class of its own. Right now, we're just treated like another tech stock.
Right now, we're treated just like another tech stock. Okay, so is Bitcoin just another tech stock? Is Bitcoin just another ticker symbol, right? Is it even a real thing? I still don't know, right? I mean, I know what they say it is, right? Digital store value, right? This and that. But in my mind, it's something that got created by some Japanese guy back in the day, right? And are we all just living into this pyramid scheme of, hey, it's this price now, I'll buy it in hopes that I sell it for a higher price later. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you really think, and let's have a meaningful conversation. I reply back to every comment that I get right now because of the channel so small. Hopefully one day it'll be bigger, but subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification. And if you are thinking about buying crypto, or if you are thinking about trading, be very careful on that. But if you're into that, I do, buy some here and there. And one of the platforms that I use is Gemini. And if you click the link in my description below, you can get some free crypto if you sign up and put some money in. And I'll get some too, just for referring you. But we both get a good deal. It doesn't cost you anything extra. There's no extra costs and all that stuff. So think about that. Link in the description. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe. Check out this next video, one of these next videos here, and let's have a discussion about that. See you there.